Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to this spiritual channel. Thank you once again for your contribution and your comment you made for the last prediction I made. It is my pleasure to keep educating you and informing you of how free energy system is designed. For a number of years now, we have been discussing about free energy system and the process that involved. Though many never believe that the free energy system is possible, but I want to tell you, the fact that you don't believe does not make it to be true. And some have been using some theories to prove that free energy is not possible because of the theory of physics and that. I want to tell you, there is no theory that can change the world. As long as the God is concerned, everything is made according to the principle of the Bible. Some theories are made by human beings and are obsolete. We can talk about some theory like pure evolution was made by human being, and up to now man never transformed, animal never transformed to human being, or human being transformed to animal. So if you want to use theory as a way of preventing learning a new process, then you are doing yourself no good. In this process today, I'm going to tell you what is very important, some discovery I've made. Because many people don't believe in this free energy, and because of that, the research work on free energy is intensifying. And many are also going to different areas. Some are going to electric cars and others. The same process work in all. I have tried to do a research on a particular production, and that has to do with a grinding machine. How a grinding machine can be used to generate electricity. You see, if you observe, the grinding machine has the same process that electricity is also using, and that is the process of rotating. And I told you that earlier in one of my presentations. I say, if any process can rotate, can spin, whatever that can rotate can be able to generate electricity, because what you need is two processes. You need one, you need the generator, and you need electric motor. And when the two are combined and the generator are made, light is generated. If you look at the peanut machine, which I'm going to discuss today, which you're going to see today, and that is what the prediction I made on how 12 kilowatts electricity generated using a peanut grinding engine. I did research on this area, and for goods, everything went positive. I was able to use a peanut engine to power a 12 kVA alternator, which generates electricity for the whole house. Power AC, power fridge, power television, power fan, and every other materials in the house, and everything went smooth. And today I'm going to show you that techniques, that process. It's just very simple. When many of you may not understand what a grinding machine is, because some of you are in a country that don't use this process, I'm going to show you first of all what a grinding machine is all about. A grinding machine is something of this nature. You can see it like this. This is the grind container, and this is the main engine. So what it happens is that this is when a granite or soya beans is being put in this container, there is what we call rotation. This thing, this what you see here, which is the flywheel, is connected to this engine, which when it rotates, the groundnut, the peanut, the soya beans, or the seed is being into a powder form. Some also can be into an oil form, as we have some oil like groundnut oil and other oil we use in cooking. So now when the seed is poured here, the bed is connected to this rotator, which is the flywheel, and then when the engine is on, automatically whatever you put in this container is ground, is transformed into other form. This process is similar to the process of generating electricity in free energy, which I use in adapting to change the process by disconnecting this engine from this container. Now use the engine, transform the engine into another iron, another system, and then use the same process that is being used in grinding this peanut or groundnut to generate it. This is what I'm going to show you now. If you see, the process is just a similar process like what I discussed earlier in electric motor. This is the process now. As you can see now, this is the engine, and the engine now formerly it was connected. Formerly it was connected to this peanut container. This connection I've made here, I've made in this place. I was able to dismantle it and then mount the engine on the alternator here, which you are seeing there. That is alternator, that is 12 kVA alternator system. I connect the bed on it. As you can see, I connect the bed. This is the bed which is connected to the engine, and then the engine was mounted on an iron here. This is an iron, it's a very thick iron. I mount it, then I mount the 12 kVA generator, which is what you see here now. This is it here. This one is a 12 kV generator. Is mount. Then I cross it and I test the process. I want to tell you that it was wonderful. Even those that were in doubt could not believe it, but they were able to see that yes, actually all this what we are talking about is not just a theory, it's something practical. You can do it in your house, you can do where you are. Just have these two things in common. Just have the generator and then have the engine. Mount the two together, you still have the same result. It's very simple. It's very simple to do. It's as simple as possible. Just mount the two together and have. I want to tell you, remember that I told you earlier that this engine here is used for grinding of peanuts, groundnut, which I dismantled from the container here. See it here. This is the container which it was dismantled, because I know the same process. What I only need, I just want the engine to rotate my generator, and when the generator is rotated, automatically there will be electricity. So I dismantle it from this here, from this you see there. I dismantle it, then I mount it in separate iron, which is what you see here. I mount it here, then connect it to alternator system, which is the generator, and automatically the light was generated. Now let's see the practical form of it, so you can now get convinced. Let's see the practical form of it, because I know some will not convince until you see the practical of it. Let's see the practical how it works. Now let's see the practical. Very important. Watch and see. That is the practical. This is the generator, and that is the engine, and that is the bed. As I discussed earlier, the two are connected together using a bed system mounted on a default tire to enable to reduce the vibration, because these are tires which are mounted into the essence for the tire is to reduce the vibration of the engine, because it was very vibrating heavily. Now you can see it now. This process is still similar to the process we always do using the electric motor. It's still the same process. Formerly, it was an electric motor that you mount here. We mount electric motor here, and then connect it to the alternator here, and then you still have the same result. But I wanted to prove a point to some people who are so in doubt that this is whatever that can rotate, whether it's electric motor, whether it's this engine, or whatever things you know that has the capacity to rotate this generator, it can still give light. It is not that the generator is just a neutral body. Even if you as a person, you have the capacity, I've said earlier, that if you as a person have the capacity to rotate this generator at this frequency of this generator, of this engine, you can still generate light. This material here, generator here, is a neutral material. Its own duty is generate. Whether you put it on anything, if it's human being that has the power to rotate it, you can still give light. If it's this engine that has the power to rotate it, you can still give light. Even if you connect it to this car, with the car, and the car has the power to rotate it like this, it can still give light. Whatever thing you connect it to, it has the power to give light. It is not the oil or whatever it is that make this generator to give light. It's the frequency. It's a frequency. But you can see this is a 12 kVA generator. As you can see there, it's not a show. This 12 kVA, see there. This 12 kVA generator. 12 kVA is big enough to contain everything. Carry generator, carry AC, carry fridge, carry everything you need in your house. This 12 kVA generator, and you can see it open. See there, 12 kVA. It's not something you say is fake. As many always comment, this is fake, this is fake. I don't know when you get convinced. I know it's not easy to convince human being, but I want to tell you, it's not everything you see on YouTube that is fake. YouTube is meant to be a place for learning. It's a place for idea sharing. So if you want to learn, you have to be open-minded. It is better for you to ask questions from the producer or the inventor, and they coach you and give you the secret, than for you to conclude that this is fake, this is not original. If you continue that way, you will not learn. Because just like what Google is meant for research work, if you want to know some things, Google search out, you get results. When you say Google, everything in Google is fake, and then you will not learn. So if you have the same mindset, you will not be able to learn. You must learn to be open-minded so that you can be able to learn new things. Just like what I'm talking about now. See now, it's running perfectly well. As you can see, that is the inner of the motor. That is the bed in a very high form speed, moving a very high frequency. This is not what you say is fake or is not original. See it practically working. If you look here, you can see the cables. These cables link the light that is generating here to the house. See that these are the cables here. See that the cables. You can see So what the cable does, the cable link the light that is being generated from this generator to the house. As you can see, generator is kept outside, so that it will be seen from removing from the other house. And you can see this is the box that I used in mounting it, so that you can believe what I'm talking about. But it's not fake. This is a cable. These are all the cable that is used in connecting the generator. This is a capacitor which was meant to boost the lights that is generating. But since the engine is turning the generator in a very high frequency, the capacitor was disconnected so that they will not be over speed. Now see it now. This is the light aspect now. This is the light. The whole house was electrified. Both inside everything there was working. There was television and everything there, fridge, AC, everything working perfectly. Even if you want to prove yourself, you can see that the light here is in a full form. It's not low voltage, it's a very high voltage, it's a pure afternoon day. It's not night. You have to say, okay, because the place is dark, but this afternoon, and you can see the light is in the full voltage to tell you that the generator is releasing a full voltage light to the house. Now continue. See there, full voltage. Generator is still on. See this, and these are the cable that link the generator, which enables the generator to look at the cable now. As you can see now, see the cable. This is the two cables that link the product to the house. See them here. You can see, if you watch carefully here, you can see it here. You can see, let me just take a little bit. This is the positive and the negative cable that transfer the voltage from the generator here to the house. So you can see, because you know the generator was outside the house so that everyone can see. So now the voltage, the cable now transfer the light here, this place transfer the light that was generated in this place to the house so that you can see the light showing there. You can see now, this is the flyway. The flyway moves in a very high speed. There is nothing like, because the engine has the capacity to turn the flyway. That's why the voltage is very high. I make it earlier during my production. I said that if the higher the speed of the frequency of the generator, the high the voltage. In other words, if you want to have a very high voltage production, you must have a very high rotational speed. That is one of the secrets I want you to know. After the area, the two cables, the positive and the negative cables that transfer the current to the house. You can see them here. This is the negative cable and this is the positive cable. This cable links to the generator upper section that send the voltage to the house. I've explained earlier, but maybe the situation was not clear. You can see it very clear now in this place. You can see this is the 12 kVA generator. It's not something you say is hiding. You can see the lab here, 12 kVA generator, and you can see that the voltage there is very high. And look at it, the rate of the generator. This 12 kVA is not something like it's hiding, and this 230 volt system. So clearly shown. You will see, so that you will not doubt what I'm talking about, or this is not something. And this is a China-made motor system, generator. Alas, now you can see here, this is the scratcher. This is the iron. As this process, one of our video I'm going to produce next time, I'm going to explain the inner part of this process of generation light. But this is scratcher. This crash to the alternator, that is the coil system, and enable the light to produce. And if you see that there are two cables there that link out, that send out the light outside the two crashers. So when the two, as the rotator of the coil is moving in fast speed, this crasher is crashing to make the light to be. See the overview of the generator and the speed ratio, the configuration, and even the light form. You can see the light showing. Just to prove to you that nothing is fake about this. Whatever you see in this channel is original. We don't produce fake things. I have our research team. Now you can see this is the coil, the wire coil. In the next production, I'm going to explain about coil system, rotor system. This is the one of the coil. This is how it is. As you can see now, this is the coil of that rotates to generate light. This is an iron that connects to this crusher, that when the machine is rotating, the voltage will be released. This is the iron. I call it rotator. So what I told you earlier is, if this iron is rotating, so the light will be produced. You see the coil there, moving at a very fast speed. And you can appreciate that the rate at which the generator is moving is in a very high frequency, which makes the voltage reduce very easy. So as you can see, I told you the capacitor was not connected. This is the capacitor here. I disconnected it because the voltage was already high. You know, in none of the manipulation I told you earlier that the capacitor helps to boost the current. But since this rotation of this generator is very high, I don't need to put the capacitor. So as you can see now, it's disconnected. This positive and negative, it's not connected. That's why I have to disconnect it, so that they have not have over voltage that can destroy things in the house. So whenever the generator production is very high, please, I advise you to disconnect the capacitor, because necessary again, because if you allow it to be, it might make the generator become over voltage and you might end up destroying your things, electronics in the house. Very important to know. As the made of the engine, that is as sun show, is used mostly for granny, but now it has helped to use in generating light just to prove a point, was used mainly for grinding of things of peanut, of maize, of soya beans, but now it's being used to generate light. So you can still use it for this process and that process. And this place was mainly used for electric motor, but now electric motor was removed and mounted this engine there to enable us get a point which some people are still doubting. Before now, I believe this one will convince you. See the process is working perfectly well. I see the generator on the side. I see the configuration. I see the ions. I see the mounting system, the process. Just mount. I see the upper part of the generator. These are the upper part of the generator. You can see how the cable, the negative and positive cable, are connected to the internal connection of the generator. This is an old generator, but still it still gives a very full light. It's not a very new generator, as you can see. It's just an old generator, but it still gives light because it has the capacity to do that. So you can see that this is the upper part of the generator, which is giving us what we want. And at least now, you can run many hours without stopping, and you can still have the normal generation system. You can run as much as possible. You can run at very high speed. It can also go, as you can see now, it runs as many hours as you can. No problem, nothing. You are not worried about anything. It's still ongoing. So this is what I said about the free energy system. We are talking about these same techniques we use in free energy. This is directly applicable to here. It moves as like, it moves as high frequency and speed. No problem, nothing disturbing it. It's still going. You have a rest, enjoy your life. I just want you to consider this process and know that yes, this is not something that is difficult to do. You must learn to embrace the new technology system. You must learn to appreciate this process you are doing. It's a research work. We are committed in this channel to change the world. As long as the research is concerned, it's a commitment. We are out on it. Anytime any research work you see in the channel, I advise you to subscribe to this channel, share this video to your friends, your family, and let them know that indeed to have a free system is easy, and electricity is meant to be free. It's not something that has to be high cost, just like having water, having everything. Everything is free, and God make it to be free. So we don't look at this something as something that is very difficult to make. No, it's not difficult. God gave us this thing to free of charge, and it is ability for you to analyze the process and get light out of it is what makes it different. So many don't look at this process of electricity generation as something that is difficult to be done. If you are tired of paying bills, if you know that you are tired of paying bills, then you have to embrace this process. You can see now, you can see my tubes here. These are all my tubes, my tube balls I use in mounting this process. So you are welcome. Subscribe to the channel, share these videos, Also, if you have any question to ask concerning this position, you are free to comment or send on the channel so that I will answer you. I'm ready to give you more details on this. Also, if you have any idea you want to share with me concerning this area, please, you're welcome. Feel free to share any idea you want to share concerning every area of this channel. I'm ready. Any area you want to focus on more research on this area, I welcome you. Thank you for watching, and I know you are blessed.